What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Dominic Peterson, host of the Duck Zone 503 podcast, where we talk all things Oregon football. If you're a first-time viewer, long-time viewer, kindly ask that you like and subscribe and share the video. Welcome in, welcome in. We got a big-time guest on the podcast for today, a 2023 commit. We'll get into that in just a second. Really appreciate everybody who locks in at Duck Zone 503 on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure you follow me on there. And most importantly, guys, word of mouth, telling your friends and family about the podcast is how we grow this podcast the fastest. All right, without a doubt, let's get into it, guys. We got 2023 four-star quarterback commit Austin Novosad on the podcast. Welcome in.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Really, really excited to have you. Really appreciate the time for you to come on and talk about your recruitment, talk about who you are a little bit. And for the fans who probably don't know you yet, you're a 6'3", 185-pound quarterback coming out of Dripping Springs High School out there in Dripping Springs, Texas. You announced your commitment to Oregon on December 21st, 2022. According to 247 Sports Composite, they got you listed as the number 10th quarterback in the 2023 class, number 18th player in all of Texas, and number 102nd player nationally. So big-time top 150 player in his class, top 10 in his position. Just want to say personally, congratulations on that, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, those are some big time rankings for sure. So, Austin, just getting into the podcast here, I just like to, start out things talking about yourself a little bit. Maybe let's just start about like where you grew up at and where your hometown is and how you like your community.
For sure. I mean, growing up in Texas, it's definitely a little different than down here, but went to high school, Dripping Springs High School, kind of right outside of Austin, Texas. Um, and played varsity football for 3 years down there, and actually know a guy on the team, Preston Alford, who's playing running back here. So kind of getting up here and connecting with him. It's been good so far.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Preston, because Preston, I actually interviewed him when he, committed here as a walk-on, and talking to him every so often, I kind of seen him after games and catched up with him, and I kind of felt bad for him a little bit because he's from out in Texas. He didn't really know too many guys. He got adjusted to the team, and of course got friends out here. But now he has somebody in Austin and you coming out here and former teammate. That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
For
It's been
both of you.
cool.
100%. So when did you start getting into the game of football? Have you played all your life, or was it something that kind of got in later?
I'd grown up just playing baseball and football. Since I was young, started, as young as I could, I think kindergarten,
Oh
and
wow.
then played both all the way up until about sixth grade. And baseball just took too much of my time. Couldn't really do both, and so kind of put baseball to the side, and then focused primarily on football, and always played a quarterback. And so as I got into middle school, just you know started training and getting better, and then kind of grew from there, and fell in love with the position and the game.
Okay. Have you always played quarterback?
I have, some people kind of move around different positions, but quarterback's been it for me.
Okay, great. Yeah, especially you played all your life, man. Accustomed to that position, 100%. Playing football, usually somebody has a favorite player to watch, maybe a sports hero, something like that. Is there certain somebody that you like to watch in the game of football that motivates you?
You know, um, Both my parents went to A&M. I've grown up watching those games. So kind of when I was younger, Johnny football was my guy. And then as his career kind of came to an end, I guess now it's probably Josh Allen. I really like the way he plays the game, and he's led the Bills to be very successful. So I enjoy watching him and looking up to him for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. Two great quarterbacks to look up to. Johnny Manziel actually was on campus with Marcus Mariota during his recruitment process and ended up choosing Texas A&M because Mariota came to the Ducks. Funny story there. And Josh Allen, the Ducks played Josh Allen, and when he was at Wyoming, and we put it on him pretty good there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Josh Allen, man, Johnny Manziel, two great quarterbacks in college for sure.
For sure.
So what's maybe three reasons that you like playing the game of football? Can you give me like what really gets after it for you in the game of football that makes you want to play it every day?
Yeah, I mean, I think just for me, the ability at my position to just kind of lead guys and be the leader on the team at the quarterback position is, definitely a reason. And then just the relationships that you build throughout the game, meeting different guys, being on different teams, and kind of connecting throughout the years you're together. I think it's builds connections that last a lifetime. And then probably the third reason is just for how competitive I am. Going out there and competing against, a bunch of good dudes, and especially in college now, you're playing the best of the best. So, I'm a very competitive person. Always want to win. Whether it's game on a Saturday or um, I guess cornhole or fishing. I'm always gonna win. So um, definitely competitions for me.
100%, man. I mean, speaking of competition and playing against the best of the best, I mean, you play right out there in Texas against some of the top athletes out there in high school that you could play. And you've obviously played in some big games out there. What do you do? Maybe listen to some music. What's kind of your music taste? What's your go-to for music? Maybe before a big game.
Yeah, I mean it kind of depends. Early before the game, kind of some country, and then I would say as it gets closer to the game, we kind of already done our pregame stuff. 30 minutes before the game, might hit a little rap, kind of get the vibe going a little bit. So that's kind of me. Nothing, no crazy playlist. Just kind of depends on what I'm feeling on the game day.
Okay, what are some artists, man? Can you list some artists that you probably like to listen?
Country it all depends. You know, Parker, Lil George Strait, Morgan
Nice.
Wallen, and then like rap. It kind of depends. Drake's, up there for sure.
Oh yeah.
And then, I don't know, whatever's kind of popular at the time.
100%. And not even music, but is there a certain maybe something you do before a big game that kind of calms your butterflies a little bit? Maybe some advice you can give to younger players?
Yeah, I get this question a lot, kind of like your pregame routine. And honestly, I don't really have one other than kind of listen to music and make sure that, I like to get a lot of throws before the game and just, feel like I've gone through everything in my head about, kind of played the game through your head is what I like to do even the night before. Um, but right before the game, honestly, just music and, making sure I get all the throws that I need for my arm to be warm.
100%, man. Got to be ready. Got to be ready to play. Get all those throws in and be confident in your game, right? So, you seem pretty confident in your game. Where do you feel most confident in your game when you step on the field?
Yeah, I think I'm a true pocket passer. I think I'm very accurate, can make any throw on the field, and I think I just execute the game well to put my team in the best position to win the game, and uh, that's kind of the best that I do.
What one word best describes Austin Novosad on the field?
Um, I would say baller. I think just finding ways to extend plays, kind of clutching up in key moments. I think that's kind of who I am.
100%, man. And as a quarterback, you got to lead out there. You got to pretty much be a good team captain at that position. What qualities, in your opinion, make a good team captain?
Yeah, I think just being, you know, confident, someone who that your team can trust. And I think that when you have that trust within your teammates, when you're in the game, I think that when things go wrong, they're going to be looking at you. And so I think when you kind of build that relationship that I was talking about earlier with your teammates, it goes a long way. But I would say confident and being someone who's reliable and someone that your teammates can trust.
100%. Great, man. I love those answers. So Oregon football schedule just came out for the 2023 schedule, just released today. I don't know if you got the chance to look over it. Or what are you most excited about for the 2023 year, just overall?
Yeah, I mean, talking about the schedule, I think one thing that kind of sticks out is all the home games. That's going to be fun for sure. Just
Yeah.
playing in uh, your home stadium's always good. The atmosphere is going to be great, and um, I'm definitely looking forward to that. And then the away games, there's some fun ones on there, so I'm looking forward to a fun year. I think that the team's definitely on the rise, and we're looking to have another good year.
100%, man. I mean, Dan Lang just came off a 10-win season, big year for him, right? In year one, first year being a head coach. What do you like about Dan Lanning so much that you were able to commit to him and put your full trust into him moving forward?
I think he was a guy that watched my film, kind of recognized my game, and then just getting up here on my visit, just kind of seeing the person he is. He tells you how it is, and he's just true. Like he's gonna be honest with you. He's gonna tell you what he thinks, and he's always gonna try to make you better. And that's something that I kind of wanted to be around. And so I think that him being my head coach is gonna be awesome.
100%, man. Dan Lanning is a great coach. And this recruiting class he's put together has been amazing. I mean, 28 guys total, a lot of guys from coming from Texas. It's great to see that Texas pipeline coming to Oregon. Any guys on this team that you're maybe closer than others, maybe a best friend type deal that you've talked to on the team so far?
Yeah, for sure. Just Preston. He was my running back in high school, and
Okay,
kind of connecting with him again. We're actually roommates now, so
nice.
getting up here with him has just been good, and I'm looking forward to building better relationships with other guys, and especially the guys in my class. So.
Oh man, love it. Yeah, Preston's a great dude. Any recruits or excuse me, I already asked that. Sorry about that. Oregon, Dan Lanning, he was just on an in-home visit to five-star athlete Nicole's Harbor, number one listed athlete in the 2023 class. There's a lot of hype around his name right now. Are you talking at all to Nicole's Harbor, or is Dan Lanning? Are you helping out Dan Lanning on recruiting at all?
So that was kind of a later, I guess, recruitment kind of push for him. I did see that Dan was out at his house, um, but I haven't been in too much contact with him. But I think the staff's taking care of his recruitment for sure. And I hope that we can get him.
Is there any 2023 recruits left on the board that you'd like to see the Ducks go after, or any names you could drop for us that you would like to see the Ducks go get?
No, I think that one of my big buddies that I think almost came here was Colton Bostic. Went to Texas, but I wish we could have had him. If things don't work out at Texas, I'm sure he'll be up here. But other than that, I think we got a great class, and I'm really excited to keep on working with these dudes.
100%, man. And we've talked a lot about your game, about how what you're good at, and a lot about what you're confident at. What is one thing maybe you feel like you need to work on coming into your freshman campaign?
Yeah, I mean, I think just the mental side of things, learning from Bo is going to be awesome, and
Yeah.
seeing how he prepares, I think, is one thing that I'm going to start picking up, and just kind of getting better at just the process, going through all the defenses, knowing where you're going to go with the ball, no matter the coverage is just something that I want to get better at.
100%. I mean, what a great opportunity to learn behind Bo Nix, one of the best quarterbacks last year in college football, right? Statistic wise, and man, what a great guy to learn behind, a great leader at that. Um, has a wife, really grown and could show you the game 100%.
Sure.
Really enjoyed what he did here at Oregon. That being said, Bo was a top 10 quarterback coming out of high school. You're a top 10 quarterback. That's why you were at the Under Armour All-American game. How do you personally feel that how you performed at that All-American game on a scale from 1 to 10, and how was it overall for you to connect with some of the best athletes all around?
I would say those games are kind of unique. My performance wasn't great. I think that there's kind of a lot that outsiders might not see that goes in that game. I mean, we had, a lot of guys that didn't even play in the game just due to injuries and, conflicts. But I think that, those experiences aren't, I guess I could say, those experiences shouldn't reflect a kid's performance, I would say. And I think that those experiences are just honestly a place that those kids can go and build relationships. And um, my week down there was definitely great. I met a lot of kids in my class and guys that you're going to see on Saturdays. And I'm excited to just kind of keep those connections and grow from that week that I had in January.
Yeah, 100%, man. And it's good always, if sometimes you have a bad performance, I mean, you can't always, strike gold every time at every performance. So it's always good to keep your head high, stay consistent no matter what. It's always good to see that at a young age as a young quarterback too.
For
So
sure.
always keep it moving, right?
That's
So
right.
we're gonna get into, some of the gold questions here that a lot of the fans, have been wanting to hear from you. Obviously you surprised a lot of people on early signing day, switching your commitment from Baylor to Oregon. Shocked me as well. I guess my first question about that was just how involved was Oregon throughout your whole recruitment process? I mean, Oregon had a five-star quarterback in Dante Moore already committed, pretty much locked in till the last second. And you come in and, kind of looks like you took that spot after Dante decided to flip from UCLA. That's kind of what it looked like from a fan's perspective, right? So, just how involved was Oregon, in your recruitment process the whole time? Was it a last second thing or were they there the whole time?
To be honest, it was definitely a last second thing. Um, it didn't start until the Dante thing kind of started to form, and I think that you know they came in last minute, but I got a quick trip up here and kind of got to see what a little preview of what it was, and I thought it was the best spot for me, so I ended up flipping.
100%. Yeah, man. And when you took that trip, it was kind of under wraps, right? I mean, I heard some rumblings, me personally, but it was pretty under wraps. How was that? How was that visit for you? What'd you see? What did the coaches do for you that really, sold you here at Oregon? I know a lot of players come, they already had their mind committed to another school. They go ahead and say, okay, whatever, let's go check out Eugene right before signing day, and they end up flipping. A lot of them do after seeing the campus. I mean, what is it about Eugene that really spoke to you?
For me, I think it was just that, a lot of people might come out to Eugene and say that there was nothing, but it kind of relates a lot to where I was growing up. Dripping Springs is just kind of a smaller town right outside of Austin, so it kind of reminds me of Eugene. And I think that with the coaching staff, I mean, having so many guys coming from Texas, it was easy to relate with those guys and kind of felt at home. And then from a football standpoint, I think that sitting down with Coach Stein for a minute and getting to really see the offense that he's going to be running with the receivers that Oregon's got, I mean, it's going to be something special for sure. And I thought that I would fit really well into his system.
Oh yeah, man, 100%. I can't wait. So yeah, let's talk about that. Will Stein, new offensive coordinator. Duck fans are pretty brand new to him. How well do you know Will Stein, and where do you guys go back? How did that relationship start forming, and how well do you trust him?
Yeah, I mean, our relationship goes back for a while. I've known him for a couple years now, and I've trained with him and got to kind of meet him over the years while he was at UTSA. Kind of saw what he was doing down there, and then we always kind of stayed in contact. And then once he got the job up here, he hit me up and said that I had to come up here and check it out because there were some ballers at receiver out here, and so I think that he's gonna bring the juice for the offense out here, and I'm excited to see what the future holds.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I can't wait to see it as well. So coming into your freshman year, I know you got some big time goals set. What do you eventually want to get done on your first year here at Oregon? What do you want to have done here?
Yeah, I mean, I think just um, build as many relationships that I can throughout the team, get closer to those guys, um, as well as just put on a little weight. Yeah, I think Coach Love's a great strength coach, and we've already seen some progress in that. And I think that, that'll come quick. And then also just kind of, learn the offense that I, can. learn as much of the offense as I can this first year and kind of get rolling and with the team.
100%, man. Yeah, and you spoke about the weight a little bit. Like that's something that maybe some people would say, oh yeah, yeah, Austin Novosad's great, but I think he needs to add a little weight to his frame. Do you have like a goal in mind for your weight, or what's like the deal with that, or do you have a certain diet you're on, or what's kind of your training regimen with that?
Yeah, we just got here.
Right,
I think that we're gonna get a goal in mind and kind of a plan on that. I don't think anyone's too worried about it. I got a good frame, so it'll be easy to put on whatever weight we want.
100%.
We're just gonna kind of see what's comfortable for me to play at and go from there.
100%, man. Can't wait to see it. What goals do you have here set at Oregon for your whole career? Like when you're all said and done, you're going to the NFL, number one pick, Austin Novosad. What do you want to have accomplished here at Oregon?
Yeah, I mean, just leave my legacy here and be the best quarterback that I can be. Um, you know, be a guy that has helped the community and um, kind of led the team. Not only just stats or football performance, but also just off the field, just kind of leave your mark and help the community the best that I can.
Love it. 100%, man. That's great goals to have. I wish the best of luck to you, Austin. I really appreciate you coming on the channel and, explaining who you are, where you come from, and how you became a Duck, man. This is Austin Novosad, 4-star quarterback coming out of Dripping Springs High School. Really appreciate the time, man. As always, guys, go Ducks. Can I get a go Ducks from you? Yes, sir. Go Ducks. As always, guys, make sure to like and subscribe to the video. But most importantly, tell your friends and family about the podcast. That's how we grow most. Everybody, go Ducks. This is Austin Novostad, 4-star quarterback.